Well, I'm in the studio today with Karen Chang. We're going to be discussing a hot piece of news out of China this week. So on Monday, news broke of a baby that was actually rescued from a sewage pipe beneath a toilet on Saturday. And China's state-run television broadcast these pictures of firefighters cutting out a section of the pipe with this tiny newborn baby weighing just 5 pounds inside. The pipe was then taken to a hospital where doctors cut the baby out of the pipe. Now, Karen, I understand that you've got some developments on this story for us.
That's right. I mean, this is a bizarre story. When it first came out, people were basically online just criticizing the parents of this little baby newborn boy who got rid of him. People didn't know who the parents were. But since then, on Tuesday, authorities reported that they have actually identified the mother. So she was actually the first person who raised the alarm. So she was actually in the building and she told neighbors that she heard a baby cry, and then the neighbors called the firefighters. Now, she's a 22-year-old unmarried girl, and then she said the pregnancy was, unplanned, and then she wasn't actually expecting the birth, and that it happened unexpectedly. And then what had happened was, according to her, the baby slipped into the toilet, and then she said that she had tried to use her hand to retrieve the baby, but she couldn't do it, and then the baby just kept sliding down. And then so that's when she told the neighbors about what happened. But at the whole time, when the police came and when the firefighters came, she didn't tell anybody she was the mom. It wasn't until later that police questioned her that she admitted very, very tearfully that she was in fact the mother of this newborn baby.
Now, the details of this story are quite murky, and she was said to have been hiding her pregnancy. Now, she's an unmarried mother, and in China, I understand this carries a bit more of a negative stigma than it would in the West. Now, is that something that could influence someone to actually get rid of their child?
Well, I mean, just culturally, unplanned pregnancy or unmarried pregnancies is more of a taboo than in the West. And also under China's one-child policy, it's actually illegal for a single woman to have a baby. Basically, you can only have a baby under the one-child policy as a couple, and you actually have to register and apply to have that baby. So for her, I believe she's living away. She's not living with her parents. The father of the child is denying that he's a dad. So she's under a lot of stress, and she doesn't really know what to do. So it is possible that with this kind of pressure, and she's still pretty young, that she could make a decision to get rid of the baby. But of course, at this stage, she's not saying that she got rid of it deliberately.
Okay, and the details are still a little bit murky on that, so it's not clear whether she did get rid of the baby or perhaps the story that she's saying is actually true and it was all a terrible accident. Now, this has kind of exploded on the Chinese internet. So Karen, what sort of effect has there been in raising sort of debate about China's one-child policy and this kind of thing? I
mean, with the one-child policy, more recently there has been much more attention on it. In the past few months, there have been separate cases of forced abortions, late-term forced abortions being reported on Chinese internet, and that sparked a lot of outrage. Really graphic pictures of a woman lying next to her aborted fetus. So there has been a lot of debate about whether, in this day and age, the Chinese regime should really be, taking another look at this one-child policy, whether it should continue, whether it should be changed. And also, just going back to the woman, she said that she, the pregnancy was unplanned and she didn't actually have enough money to have an abortion. Now, under China's one-child policy, for a parent to give birth, for the birth quota, basically, if you decide to give away your baby, that baby counts towards your birth quota. So if later in later in her life, she wants another baby, excuse me, that could actually be a disincentive for her to give the baby up for adoption.
She would have already had one, right?
Exactly.
So she couldn't have another one.
Yeah, the system really is, it's not set up in such a way that it, encourages the proper, procedures to care for the baby.
Now, Karen, despite this being, a really pretty horrific story, I understand there is something a little bit positive that has come out of this.
Well, the case, drew a lot of anger, but as well, at the same time, a lot of love, basically, from Chinese people. A lot of people have been watching to see how this baby is doing. So the baby boy has been nicknamed Baby 59 because of the incubator he's been put in the hospital, and he's said to be doing very well. And people have been sending in nappies and, even putting their hands up to adopt the baby if their parents don't want him. So we are seeing a lot of, warmth coming to this baby, which is a, great thing to see.
Well, thanks for watching, and we'd like to find out what you think about China's one-child policy or this incident. Please leave your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe. You can also like us on Facebook and follow myself and Karen on Twitter.